Yeah, baby. We are ready for another one. I like this style. A lot to talk about here. So let's get into it. Welcome back to Y.E.S, everyone. Today we are talking about Reviver, the fourth studio album released by Lane 8. I am a newcomer to Lane 8. I actually talked with one of my cousins recently, and she recommended some music by him right after I listened to this album. It was really strange. She and I were reconnecting on music tastes that we had listened to in the last few years, and he popped up, and I was like, oh yeah, I think I just listened to him. So that's a fun little feat, but let's talk about the album now. So according to some information that, I just happened to find on the internet, Lane 8 tends to delve into deep house and progressive house. I'm just a house fan overall. I will listen to virtually anything in the EDM genre. Any subgenres that come up, I like them usually. And yeah, in the house category, I tend to like a lot of this. And I do have to say my favorite thing about this album is, in fact, the production and the compositions. There's a lot of variety and multiple directions this album goes in, and I really admire what he was able to do with this album. The thing that holds this album back for certain moments, and maybe for some of you, you are not going to care about this. Maybe you think I am totally bonkers. I have no idea. But I have to say the thing that really keeps me from loving this album are a lot of the featured vocalists he has for multiple tracks here. Now, I'm not saying I hate these vocals. I just don't really think that a lot of them were appropriately aligned for the ambiance or mood that the songs on an individual basis were going for, with the exception of one, and we'll get to that. A lot of these vocalists are, I guess you could call, slightly more indie. So if we're looking through that lens, I guess it makes sense that they would have a slightly different delivery. As an example, one of the singers that actually is featured twice in this album is named Chani Lane. I hope I pronounced that right. First featured in the song Survive. Very relaxing, I gotta say, for the beat. Lyrically, I was very lost. I didn't really feel like this enhanced anything. Chani is also featured on the very last track called I'll Wait. And while I don't have a lot to say in particular about this song lyrically, there is a very strange high pitch moment in this song that kind of took me out of the song. Arctic Lake is also featured in this album twice. Didn't really feel like it was bad necessarily, but it wasn't really, my preference, I guess. Emmett Fenna was the third vocalist here. Another moment where I just think this wasn't necessarily the correct feature. Again, my opinion. Maybe some of you will completely think differently. The one vocalist that I thought did a pretty good job is Solomon Gray. Now, Solomon Gray has two features in here. One that I thought was alright. The one that I really like is in the song Together. It's another very relaxed tempo song, and his vocals feel precisely what this song needed. There isn't anything he is doing that is trying to be impressive and trying to raise the song up. It kind of feels like he is actually matching the mood of the song with his voice. And that was wonderful. This song does in fact bring a peaceful smile to my face. Now, while I did say there's a lot production-wise here that I loved, I really have to limit myself here, so I'm only going to make a couple more highlights. Now, probably my favorite song in here is, in fact, the title track, Reviver. This tune is just layered with great moments and sounds, gradually building up upon it. It was kind of like if I was walking upstairs, and on each stair there was a door leading to a cooler surprise, and it just keeps going up. It's just like, wow, that's cool. Oh, another door. I wonder what's behind here. More cool stuff. Yay! Other songs I am just going to throw in here to be able to get you a glimpse of what their sound is like is Watermelon Wormhole. And Illuminate. This album overall does very much feel like, in a way, it's some sort of electric indie movie. It is something that is trying to paint a profound picture of some kind. And each song has its own element. The vocals you wouldn't really necessarily need, or that's just a blurry moment in the tapestry, I suppose. But again, Solomon Gray did a good job with that one song. And overall, this is something that I feel like probably a lot of other people will maybe like more than me, if you in fact do have the temperamental patience to deal with this kind of album. I'm not saying many of you will not. I'm just saying the way that I'm talking about this album, I want to paint it in a positive light. I just have to acknowledge the things that I didn't necessarily favor either. So, after having listened and reviewed this album with the following grades in the following categories here, how would I recommend this album? I am going to give it a good. I feel like internally I like it more than what the grade is saying, but I have to keep it kind of real in the things that I just couldn't get on board with. But again, I don't really feel like I'm going to get the same exact ideas or comments on this album from many other people. So if you have been following Lane 8, what did you think of this album compared to his other projects, or just overall? I'm curious. I really would like to know. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow me in my social media links down in the description below, and be sure to leave a comment about what you think I should review next, or anything else you think I could talk about in the realm of entertainment. But above all, remember to chase excellence, chase quality, and chase yes. Remember, we are your entertainment specialists.